Thank you for your underwhelming response. Happy Monday, everyone. Let's do some jokes. Donald Trump's ex-attorney, Michael Cohen, took the stand today in the hush money trial. We don't have footage because cameras aren't allowed in the courtroom, but we do have footage of Cohen leaving and having lunch.
Live your best life.
Meanwhile, also in New York, Suffs, the new play co-produced by Hillary Clinton, is bombing on Broadway. All right. Yeah, unlike her husband, Bill, she's not very good at filling seats. Do you know what that means? I don't. According to a shocking new study, many patients on life support actually recover, so there should never be a rush to pull the plug. Finally, some good news for Joe Biden. An interview from 2018 reveals that porn actress Stormy Daniels may be lying on the stand about her sexual encounter with Donald Trump, leaving her with egg on her face, or something similar. In the interview, Daniels insisted it wasn't a Me Too situation, but stressed for the right money, she's up for a Me 3, Me 4, even a Me 5. Actor Steve Buscemi had his face attacked by a maniac in Midtown Manhattan last week, but this is no laughing matter. This was Buscemi before the attack, and this is him after. Today is Stevie Wonder's 74th birthday. Congrats. Wonder celebrated by thanking his family for taking him to the Bahamas. Over the weekend, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was #1 at the box office. In a related story, earlier today, you'll never guess who learned to walk upright. All right. Monologue time. Whoopee! Yay! Hooray! As you probably heard, RFK Jr. claims that a worm once ate part of his brain. Lucky for him, he recovered. And lucky for the brain-eating worm that he didn't pick Joe instead, or he would have starved to death. But this whole worm in your brain thing got me thinking that there's no shortage of parasites out there living off the brains of others. The most obvious are the campus occupiers who have segued into ruining college graduation ceremonies across America. The worm in these heads of these kids sound like a cross between Karl Marx and someone with even worse hair, Joy Reid. Which explains the united front among communists, anarchists, BLM, Antifa, and the Hamas holes. Also, climate change hoaxers. Yep, we've seen Greta's new gig now since the globe didn't burn up like she said. So how will she get her screen time? But their common denominator is clear. We want to destroy the West, and what we're going to offer you instead is far worse. True to them, it's like replacing John Hamm with a ham. Here's video of Queers for Palestine who have as much in common with Hamas as Cat does with members of Odor Eaters Anonymous. But the Queers for Palestine do have one thing in common with Hamas: irrational hate. They tried to stop traffic at Walt Disney World in Florida.
Free Palestine!
Do you understand that? Do you know that?
Free Palestine!
You actually are losing people. You are losing people to your cause because of this.
Get out of the road.
Okay?
45,000
You
dead.
are losing
45,000 dead.
Take this out the way. You understand that? Think a little bit. You are causing people to actually hate you.
Go yourself.
But they can't think. They got a worm. Thankfully, Florida turned these Queers for Palestine into inmates for Palestine in minutes. Turns out you can't arrest people blocking the road quickly if you arrest people for blocking the road quickly. And if these Queers for Palestine think that's bad, imagine what would happen if they ever met Hamas. Hamas loves to party with the LGBTQ community. First, they'll raise the roof, then they throw them off it. But that's actual enforcement. Oh, thank you. But that's actual enforcement without contemplating root causes. Shouldn't civilization now be collapsing like Gerald Nadler during a stress test? Up next, Canadian PM Justin Trudeau, whose country is pushing the online harms bill, which criminalizes what they call hate speech. What is hate speech in Canada, you ask? It's any speech that might make a protected group uncomfortable. If that net got any wider, it could catch Whoopi Goldberg's lunch. Oh. So, is this law retroactive? What if you tweeted problematic stuff that's still out there? What if you once shared a controversial video? Or what if you have an embarrassingly racist photo lying around and you happen to be Prime Minister of Canada? The law is vague, but what's scary is that if you are likely to reoffend, you could be locked up indefinitely going forward. All thanks to Trudeau, who is rapidly becoming our hemisphere's Kim Jong-un. Turns out the apple doesn't fall far from the tree if your mom bangs Castro.
Damn. Yep.
And what if, as an American, you mocked or criticized a Canadian? Could you be extradited to Canada to face charges? Well, let's try it out. On 3, we're going to say, hey, Justin, you suck. 1, 2, 3. Hey, Justin, you suck. Congrats, everyone. You're now safer vacationing in Mexico. But think about it. Could you go to jail in Canada for sharing a video about a certain Canadian shop teacher? Just for the record, that whole thing, that wasn't me. That was all Kat's idea and Tyrus.
You, Greg. Don't on me.
Arrest the black guy. That usually works.
Come get me.
And go easy on Kat. She's cold anywhere north of Honduras. Here's another clear example of a voracious brainworm that must be on its second helping by now. An Irish Eurovision contestant crying over the Israeli contestant advancing to the finals.
It's been so hard. It's been so hard. And I'm so proud of us. And I just want to say, we are what the Eurovision is. The EBU is not what the Eurovision is. The EBU, I don't even care anymore. And the queers are coming. Non-binaries for
Who knew hemorrhoids could talk? Now, perhaps this creature was probably a nice girl long ago, raised by nice parents, but look at her now. She's got more hate in her than I do for Fox and Friends.
Wow.
And now she's targeting a truly normal, healthy Israeli contestant for being, well, normal and healthy from Israel. But perhaps the biggest idiocy is that this moron thinks blind, ignorant anti-Semitism is punk. Sorry, it's not punk when the competition judges align with you. Nope, you're about as edgy as a stick of butter at room temperature, or what Joy Behar calls breakfast. So as the brainworms continue to burrow their way into our culture and our kids, just remember they all have a common ancestor. You can call it progressivism or cultural Marxism. Whatever it is, you got to ask, how did it get there? I mean, look who's acting crazy today and who isn't. And that should tell you something. True, there are a few zanies on the right, but that bubbles up from below. This mass hysteria on the left is purely top-down. It comes from professors, the media, the hard left organizations that have money and no scruples. This isn't QAnon. It's CNN, MSNBC, The Washington Post, Media Matters, and the like. That's why we don't have the worm. They do. They're getting it in their diet. But us, we don't eat that. But whatever you call the worm's parents, better say it quietly, especially on campus or if you live in Canada. In the meantime, as the adults in the room, let's take a lesson from Florida and convey a simple message to these students, professors, and the media, and yes, the Canadian PM. For God's sakes, grow up. You and your worms are destroying the institutions that made the West the most successful civilization ever. And it won't stop there, because eventually every parasite kills its host. But who knows? By the looks of this lot, they're so inedible, the worms might be looking for a better meal. welcome tonight's guest. We wrote an intro for him, but his ex-wife took that too. Actor, writer, and comedian Jamie Lissow. His shows are like Jamie's marriages, short and ugly. Writer and comedian Joe DeVito.
Ooh, off the bat.
She's thinner than Jamie's wallet. New York Times bestselling author and Fox News contributor Kat Tiff. And he's so tall, he sees Jamie's kids more than Jamie does. New York Times bestselling author and comedian, former NWA World Champion Tyrus. Jamie, I suppose it's good you don't have a brain worm because that might get more sympathy from your family.
Yeah, it's so weird you just said that about just my whole life. When I walked into the green room, my wallet and my calendar were arguing over who was emptier. This Disney thing makes me feel, you know, the big one, Queers for Palestine, they're a big, you know, we all know, like homos for Hamas. Also very good. My problem is you're blocking the exit to Disneyland and hoping that I will come over and listen to your call. Disneyland is very expensive. Why don't you help me out? Why don't you block the entrance? I'd like to save some money. I just feel like protests are always trying to inconvenience us, right? Like I feel like if you said to me, hey, I got an extra fast pass, I'll listen to all the you gotta say.
Yeah, it's a weird place to throw down a protest. I mean, you got families, you've got a father that probably wants to kill himself.
Yes.
You got some screaming brats in the back. You got a wife that, you know, what the hell is she thinking? This was going to be a good idea, going to Disney World?
That lady's voice was maybe the worst voice. That lady's voice ruined an erection I was going to have tomorrow.
I love that you plan ahead. Yeah, 3:15 maybe. That'll be a good time. Joe, a lot of little elements working here. What do you think the overarching theme of brain worms?
Well, the first thing I would tell RFK Jr. is that if you've got a brain worm and you're running for president, you might want to keep that to yourself. Doesn't inspire a lot of confidence.
It was in a divorce deposition, and it came out. Somebody did that to him on purpose.
Ooh, not good. Not
Yeah.
good. But this, I think what we're seeing here is that this protest stuff, it's fashion. This is a front they're putting on. This is just a costume they're wearing. Can't spell Hamas without H&M.
Yeah, that's true.
What these kids are doing. And I'm not surprised that Greta went and turned like that, that she would go from climate change to supporting Hamas. I thought she was going to hit non-binary on the way there.
Yeah.
I figured she would glom onto that. But it shows you how spoiled they are. I mean, you see the Princeton hunger strike, they canceled because they got hungry.
Yes.
They didn't know it was going to affect lunchtime. So we actually have people who are so spoiled they demand we cater to their needs while they're also demanding catering.
Yes.
So we can't take them seriously, but I think it's a good point that socialism, the things they support, it's just they're against anything that works.
Right.
And how we're going to see the way this plays out because the people who do work and have things to do are important. They don't have time for this nonsense, and it's going to run its course because they're spoiled. They're pudgy little brats, and they're incapable of doing anything other than bringing other things down and complaining.
Yeah, they say it's slippery slope. It might have just hit the wall. Kat, you know, of all the places to get a worm, not in the brain. I mean, at least like eat the food that I'm eating so I don't gain weight, like a tapeworm. What do you say to that?
I don't think a tapeworm. Yeah. I don't think a tapeworm would be good for me at all.
No, I don't think so either. A worm actually would complain about getting a cat timp.
So, more thoughts on tapeworms?
Yeah.
What do you make of the Eurovision thing?
Well, I mean, not much.
Are you mad that they're forcing you to care about Eurovision?
Yeah, I know. They haven't. I still don't. I want to talk about Canada, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think there are a few things scarier than having your freedom hinge upon whether or not a Canadian gets offended.
Yeah, that is true.
And the way that it's been covered, I think, is just nuts. Like the New York Times was like, critics say that this crosses the line into censorship. It's like, do critics say that, or is that what the dictionary says?
Yes.
You know, government punishing for speech, the government punish you for speech, that's what censorship is by any definition of the word. And their justification for it is kids, right? Like protecting the kids. That's what the government always does. Oh, the kids, right? The solution to protecting kids is never to treat everyone like a kid, except in this case with the addition of a very adult punishment. Like no kid ever catches a charge for saying something untoward.
Yeah, you can go away for, it's open-ended. The thing, I mean, it's weird, Tyra said, we always worry, don't go to Mexico because of the gangs. Don't go to Canada. You could end up in jail. They could look at any of our feeds. They could look at any of our past shows. And all of us are guilty.
I don't go to Canada. And even when, and Canada was a great place to wrestle because of the history there, but I hated just going through customs and stuff. It was just, it was easier to get into Russia. It was ridiculous, which is not easy, ladies and gentlemen. But all this thing goes back to, it's all, like everyone's like, oh, they're, you know, to your point, they're spoiled brats, but they're being fed. They're being fed by us. They're being fed by everyone because if we treated these protesters like streakers in sports events.
Yes.
No, I mean.
That is speech, according to them, and we tackle them.
Well, yes, but the tackle happens when? Off camera.
Yeah.
There's no camera. So there's a streaker, hold on. We'll talk about something else while we deal with this. And then they go back to playing the game. So the reason why there's not a streaker every week is because there's no clip. Yeah. All this is for clips. All this is for to throw up on the wall. They don't have to protest. Hunger strike, and it's on the news cycle for 2 days. It's off the cycle. No more. We're done. We made our point because we're just getting clips. All they need is this whole thing is sound bites and clips. And if we take away the visual, people who are on the fence or confused or young or envious or whatever, they are not interested in that because they're not getting, because everyone has that, the biggest, you know, we talk about crack, fentanyl, camera time and attention is just as big a drug. Dr. Drew would back me up on that. I'm not a doctor, but I know Dr. Drew.
Yeah, that's enough though.
But the point is if you took away that feed, I think you would see a dramatic difference. Like walking out of, they walked out of the graduation, whatever. Why do we have to see it? They walked out. Okay, you ruined your own graduation.
But we're doing that in the next segment.
Well, no, but to my point. But I'm just saying we're part of the, you know,
we are part of the problem.
You know,
that should be our new logo. Or
and Stevie Wonder's a national treasure. Tread lightly.
I didn't write that joke.
Was it you, Joe?
Not me.
We'll find out. We'll fire them.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.